Well, they told me the title might raise some eyebrows, and I told them that's exactly the point. Hey, welcome to the very first episode of The Real Happy Ending with Chuck Henson. I'm Chuck Henson, and if you're tuning in looking for a fairy tale, maybe a get-rich-quick scheme, or a shortcut, well, you're in the wrong place. But if you're looking for the truth behind the triumph, well, you're right where you need to be. After 30 years in the broadcast industry and building a wellness practice from the ground up, I've learned one thing. The finish line looks a lot different than the starting blocks. Now, today, we're going to break down what it actually takes to stick that landing. Let's get personal right out of the box. Most people spend their entire lives trying to build a sure thing. They want that safety net. I know I spent years in St. Petersburg building exactly that. I had a reputation. I had a 5.0 rating as a massage therapist, and I'd just come off a successful broadcast career. My client list stayed relatively full, and it was comfortable. It was safe. It was successful by any standard definition. And then I made the move. I decided to pivot and take my practice to a brand new region. I went from a saturated market where everyone knew my name to, let's be honest, square one. Now, some people would look at a guy with 30 years of experience starting over and call that a risk. Well, I'd like to try to call it expansion, because in the city, I was at capacity. There was no room for that next big thing because the current thing took up all the oxygen in the room. Starting over isn't necessarily losing, it's gaining white space. Think of it this way. If you're at the top of your game and there's no room left to grow, well, you're not winning, you're just stuck. Don't fear that open schedule. Fear the plateau. I've cleared the deck and I've never been more ready to build. All right, let's take a short break. We'll be right back and continue this conversation.
Sometimes home is just a change of location, not a change of mind.
Comfort matters, but deep-rooted stress need a professional touch. Chuck Henson Wellness offers personalized solutions. We don't just treat symptoms, we empower you. Come home to a better you. Find real peace at Chuck Henson Wellness.
Now, while we're talking about building, let's talk about reputation. Recently, a number's been following me around, 4.9. That is my current rating as a massage therapist. Now, some guys would lose sleep over that missing 0.1. They'd be hunting down that one person who didn't feel the magic, demanding an explanation. But here's the truth. The real happy ending isn't about being perfect. It's about being consistent. That 4.9 tells the world that hundreds of times I showed up and hundreds of times I knocked it out of the park. It also proves that I'm real. If you've never had a critic, you've probably never done anything worth criticizing. Don't chase the ghosts of perfection, chase the reality of excellence. Whether you're in a major metropolitan area or in a growing regional market, your standard travels with you. Your reputation is the only currency that doesn't devalue when you cross those county lines. So, how do you actually get there? Now, I've tried to boil down the mechanics of success down to 3 rules, and I'm going to call this the meat of the matter. First, you have to have selective amnesia. You've got to be able to forget the sting of that last no or the embarrassment of your last failure the second you walk into a new room. If you carry yesterday's baggage into today's meeting, well, you've already lost. Second, have aggressive focus. Now, we live in a world of distractions. If an activity doesn't move that needle forward, if it doesn't serve your mission, then it's just noise and you should cut it out. And third, and this one's tough for me, you've got to have a thick skin. You cannot be elite and universal at the same time. If you want everybody to like you, you probably should have sold ice cream for a living. But if you want to be the best, prepare for that wind to blow a little harder when you get toward the top. Apply those 3 things and you'll find the pivot is the most powerful tool in your kit. Remember, the goal stays the same, but the route often has to change. If the bridge is out, don't go home, look for a boat. All right, my friends, that's a wrap on episode 1. It wasn't perfect, but it's done, and done is the first step toward great. I'm Chuck Henson. You've been listening to The Real Happy Ending with Chuck Henson. Thanks for joining me. I hope to see you soon on my table. Hey, Inverness. I'm Chuck Henson. At Chuck Henson Wellness, we believe being at your best means staying in the game. Whether you're crushing it on the pickleball court or just staying active, your body deserves the right recovery. Even Scout knows that a little relaxation goes a long way. We provide specialized sports massage tailored to your lifestyle. Don't let soreness slow you down. Call 727-537-6601 to book your session today.